I would like to share with you today a sefer which is called Shomer Emunim by Rabbi Aharon Rata. It's Kodesh Kedoshim. It's like Mamish, this book's like a sefer Torah. It's very powerful words. I don't know if it's for everybody or not. But like we always say, when you go to a doctor and you need a surgery and he tells you to take antibiotics, and then in the next 2 weeks you're going to have a person who's going to die because the doctor didn't tell him exactly what he needs, who are you going to be upset with? Who's the family going to be upset with? The doctor, Rabotai. So too the rabbis. When people come to the rabbis and they don't tell them what the problem is, and they tell them mezuzah, tefillin, maybe your wife is this, maybe this and that, maybe the wrong yeshiva you put your child in, but they don't tell them the real problems, Rabotai. What's then happening? Who's going to be to blame? The rabbis. So unfortunately we have to do the dirty work. You with me? We have to do the dirty work. What should we do? We can't do anything else. We cannot back down from the truth. We have to do what Hashem says. We have to be able to deliver the message. This is why He puts the rabbis out in the world to teach His Torah, Rabotai, not our Torah. What He says, not what we want to hear. You understand? That's the problem. That's why everybody says, my rabbi. Since when did he become your rabbi? Wasn't my rabbi because you like what he does. My rabbi. Yeah, to drugo prance. 100%. Rabotai, so I want to over here in Perek Vav, he brings down something very fascinating, especially nowadays in the summer, right before Rosh Hashanah, Elul's coming up, and we see a lot of immodest women outside. And women think by dressing immodestly, everything's going to be overlooked. But not knowing, Rabotai, how many men they're making stumble. By making a lot of men stumble, like we said last time, it's lifnei iver lo teteh mikshol. They're doing isurim d'oraita. Again, I'm not talking about dressing normally, looking, a woman. I'm not telling her to start putting garbage bags on herself and walking out. She has to look normal. But she cannot look provocative every step that she makes. The whole world is watching her. Rabotai, he says over here like this. A person needs to have trust when it comes to oneself, to guard himself from avirot. Sometimes we want to do avirot and we think it's okay. A person says imun in Hashem that he does not want me to do avirot. Kimo, he gives an example. What is it? Give me one example. He says, Kimo, like im adam holech bashuk, if a person is walking in the street, and now he wants to guard his eyes. Pay attention when you walk in the street. The Yitzhar tells you what? Look over here, as if your mother's than your father. Everybody, you always look. You don't know why you're even looking. We'll see why today. You want to see this man, you want to see this person. You always want to see everybody. Come with another. Curiosity. Curious George got the best of him. Okay. Like it's brought down from the previous tzaddikim. If you have a woman, meaning who's brazen, who's immodest, who dresses in a provocative way, because that woman that walks in an immodest fashion, meaning dresses provocatively, and she's not walking in the ways of the modest Jewish girls, she's called a harlot, an immodest harlot, or better yet, a brazen harlot when it comes to the dress mode. Why are you dressing like that? Because she rebels against the Jewish girl has to dress, meaning modestly. For sure, the brazen girls themselves, how much more so they're called Lolenu, a zona chatufa, a brazen harlot. But you should know, Rabotai, he says something very powerful, and now you can understand why men, which women unfortunately don't understand this, why men eyes are always running around. Because there are malachim, or better yet, demons that work for these women. They themselves don't know. He says, "V'kol sheken hachatzofot mamash." The brazen woman, melave ota kama alafim, urivavot chitzonim uklipot et zo hachatzofa. Thousands and thousands upon tens of thousands of klipot, chitzonim, outside factors, demons. They escort this girl. So when she thinks she's going down like a queen of the Rabotai, you should know she has an army of demons going with her. Ve'elu hachitzonim hamilavim, and these chitzonim that are escorting this immodest girl, מתפשטים בכל צד וצדי צדים. They spread out to every single corner. Wherever she's walking, to all four corners, they're going to spread out. כמו president, when you have a president, he has the, what do you call it? He has the security. This is her security, but to attract attention, not to push away. ומתלבשים בבני אדם המסבבים, and they dress themselves up, meaning they go on who? On men that are around her. They start clothing themselves on men that are around her. לראות בה ולהרהר בה חס ושלום. So she's walking, she thinks she's doing nothing wrong. But these of tens of thousands of angels or demons, they spread out from her, and now they start going on every single man, and they start putting in their thought, look there. He doesn't know she's there. But sometimes a man walks and he's like, why do I want, and he looks at it, wow. And I don't know, he sees a woman, and he's like, oh, what do I do? Because that thought came to you from a bad demon, from one of the chitonim, which came from her. And then he says that, and he wants you to think about her, which is another problem. Even if a person is standing at a very great distance, מפיתים אותו אלו הקליפות המתפשטים שיגביה עיניו ויראה ויהרהר חס ושלום. These chitzonim, these klipot, even if a person is far away, they're going to tell him, look, pick up your eyes and think about this woman. לכן, therefore he says, רואה אדם על פי רוב, a person will say the majority of the times, שאם היצר מפתהו לתקל באיזה מקום, if the Yetzer Hara entices you to look at a certain place, you're walking down, and now the Yetzer Hara tells you to look to your left. Overet as eize isha, majority of the times, 51% of the time, there will be a woman who's immodest. Otherwise, you'll never look there. On a regular day, you'll never look there. V'zeu birov b'li safek, said, and the majority of the time, without any doubt, it's going to be a woman who's immodest. Why? Because you have demons that are working for you. You can't overpower them. That's why a guy has to always keep his eyes down. That's why you have to have imun in Hashem. That's what you're trying to say. What's the shmira from the Einayim? You want to look? I don't have to look. Who's there? My wife. Who's that? My mother. Who's there that I have to look? We're always looking. Always. You know, you walk down the street, somebody honks, so you think it's you. Why do you think you're the president of the world? What do you think you're Elon Musk? What do you think you are? Rabota, I want to conclude with this piece. V'lachen, therefore he says, Ashrei haish, praiseworthy is the man, she'otem einav mirot bera, that he closes his eyes from seeing bad. Whenever we say bad, we're meaning about immodest woman. Asher la'atid lavo yizkeh lirot penei shechina, a guy that closes his eyes in this world will have the zechut to see HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the next world. Be'avur misirat nefesh shenizhar milistakel, for the fact that he had self-sacrifice from being careful from looking, his mechitza, his portion with Hashem, is going to be greater than the greatest angels. Why? Why? Because all he did was close his eyes. He broke himself. However, I told this to somebody, Rabotai, they say, yeah, okay, what's so bad? You know, you could look, but you can't touch, whatever. They have this shtuyot menu. Chas v'shalom. First look is free on your wife. Rabotai, ומי שאינו שומר עיניו, ומי שאינו שומר את עיניו חס ושלום, רבותיי, if a person does not guard his eyes, I'll call uriah, and every single time when you look at a woman, meaning you look at her the wrong way, you gaze at her, ישברו עיניו לעתיד לשברי שברים. They're going to break his eyes, eye socket, in the future, in the grave. That's what's called kavakela, not kavakela. What do you call that? Chibut HaKever, in the grave, thank you. Chibut HaKever in the grave, that's good. You look with your eyes, then we're going to break it. They're going to put the eyes back in, again knock him out. You spoke Lashon, they take out your tongue. That's what means Chibut HaKever. A lot of people think when they open the graves, they see their scratches. So they think it's a clinical death. Maybe he woke up. He didn't wake up. They put the nisham back in, they start beating him up. That's why you see all that. What do you think, Stam? Rabotai, that's what he says. They're going to break his eyes. And not only that, the punishment is going to be so great without any measurement. The Reish Chochmah brings it down, Rabbeinu Arizal, the Zohar Kodesh, and all the Musar books that bring this down of the punishment that's going to come. So I read this one time to somebody. So I said, yes, you Sephardim are very machmir. I don't want to say Bukharim, but they say Bukharim. We Ashkenaz are not so machmir like this. Chas v'shalom. Rabotai, I told him the Chaim also brings it down. Rabbi Yishmael HaKohen, he also brings this down. He says clearly, Rabotai, in the Mishnah Berurah in the Dirshu edition, anybody who was ownerless, he was hefker by looking anywhere he wants. In this world, he said, in the next world, he's going to be blind, just like every blind man in this world. That means you can't, for netzach nitzachim, for eternal, a person is not going to be blind. Imagine everybody seeing why a person is blind, because he couldn't control his tavot. That's why I want to conclude with this. A woman needs to know, Rafula John, a woman needs to know, when she takes her husband somewhere, she should think 2-3 times to where she takes him. Because all the punishment that come to her and the children and anybody else is to who? Because of who? Because of the father. That's what they say when you do Misha Berach. You don't do after the father. You do after the mother. Why? Because the mother has less sins. The father has a lot of sins. He doesn't learn Torah. He has bittul Torah. He watches when he's not supposed to watch. He spills semen in vain. He has a lot of averot. That's why every wife has to be smart and try to protect their husbands from all the shtuyot. Baruch Adonai Olam, Amen, Rabbi Chaim Igal, Let's go.